It's the Bike and Paddle Show. Hey man, welcome to the Bike and Paddle Show.
I'm gonna cook up some of those morels. Now those morels are early season, so they're spiked morels. They're not the traditional yellow morels that we're hoping for. Maybe in a week those will come up, but it's usually dependent upon like 70-degree days, 50-degree nights, and the soil's got to be 50 degrees inside. And we're expecting some warmer temperatures next week. And where I found them is really not the most coldest, dampest area. It usually dries out pretty soon, so maybe I'll find some next week. But we're gonna cook some steak and morel mushroom with green onion Alfredo pasta out in the woods. It's a pocket rocket, and this canister has lasted me like 6 meals. Whoops, got it turned on already. 6 meals. It'll last a long time. All right, first thing I'm gonna do, fry up my mushrooms, get my steak warm, put them aside. Then I'm gonna make some roux and make the Alfredo sauce. And then I'll put some noodles in it. Now, I don't have enough room on my bicycle, my electric fat tire, to bring another pot and boil the noodles fresh, so I had to make them ahead of time. Hope you forgive me. So the first thing I'm going to do is find my fork. All right, there we go. Put some butter in here, fry my mushrooms up. I don't know, the best way to make morels is to split them down the middle. You know, make sure that there's no spiderwebby, pulpy stuff inside, because then you got a fake morel. Okay. And then you can lightly salt them and pepper them, and then put some flour on them, and then fry them in butter. Cut side open, so you can kind of flatten them out, and they're really good crisp. But we're gonna do it this way. So let's get that butter melting. Watch out. If butter ever turns brown, turn the heat down. You don't want to burn butter. And I usually get unsalted butter. Salted butter tends to burn faster, okay? So I smoked some flank steak. And I got already chopped up my morels. I want to make sure my morels are crisp. I don't really like soggy mushrooms unless they're like in spaghetti sauce, you know, out of a can. Even on pizza, I'm not a big fan of dry mushrooms. I like to crisp them up first. So I got these guys. I'm going to set them aside for now. Make my Alfredo sauce. So I'm going to try. I'm not sure how much I'll need. I'm going to put a little more than a half a stick of butter in the pan. You really don't want to fry it. You want to keep it at a low temperature. So this is kind of boiling. You don't want it to boil. I want to go lower than that. If you don't know what roux is butter and flour, or sometimes people will take the grease drippings from some kind of meat they're cooking. You know, mix flour into that, and that makes, you know, you add bouillon to it, and then you got a gravy. So now I'm going to take my flour. Hopefully I have enough. Try not to spill anything. And stir it into the butter until it's not lumpy, but nice and creamy. Should have brought a whisk, but I usually don't go camping with a whisk. You see that, how it's starting to thicken up? Melt my fork. All right. See how thick that is? You always want to cook roux for like a minute. That'll get the flour taste out of it. Yeah, fork you. All right. Now, I gotta got my camping fork. Now I'm gonna cut this. Some chicken stock. Still want it pretty thick because I'm going to add heavy whipping cream to it, and it is very thick. There, now that's a nice roux. See? Got a nice sheen to it. Boop. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe all of it. Once you add roux to something, like you put in cold liquid, you want to heat it back up to simmering, almost boiling, and that'll thicken whatever it is you're making. You know, you don't always have to use cornstarch and water. Roux, like make a cheese sauce. If I were to dump a bunch of cheese in here, be a cheese sauce. All right. going to be a very thick sauce, I think. I didn't know how much butter and flour to use. I was just guessing. Normally, if you're doing this at home, you set the roux aside and you add the roux last to, like potato soup or something. You can add just the amount you need to thicken it. So now, add my heavy whipping cream. That tells me I'm going to need all of it. So add some fresh basil and Parmesan cheese to it. Put my steak and the mushrooms in there. My pasta on. But this is a gift that keeps giving. You can add a little bit of chicken stock to this and make 3 more meals out of it. See, doesn't that look yummy? Bon appetit. See you next time.